Hello, hello, everyone. Let me find myself. Always takes just a second to get it pulled up. Hello, Marcia. How are you? I hope you guys are doing well. For those of you that are around me in the area, I hope that you have not been washed away by all this crazy rain we've had over the last couple days. Hello, Nancy. And yes, I am definitely loving the cooler temps. It has been fantastic. As a matter of fact, yesterday, Maggie and I went and sat out on our little sunscreen. Well, it's not a screened-in porch. It's an enclosed, like, glass porch, but we can open the doors and stuff. And, oh, it was so nice. I just sat there and enjoyed it and did some Bible reading and all that good stuff on my phone. So I had a grand old time. Hello, Verna. All right, so let's dive in so we can make it a short video. Don't forget about Fall Retreat if you are interested in that. It is the last day to register is on Wednesday. So make sure you get registered by then. I am going to start cutting and doing all of that this weekend. So make sure that you get in by Wednesday if you want that. It is about $70 worth of products. It's 12 projects, and I will get it mailed to you by the end of the month at the latest. So there is that. The other thing is our current joining special with Stampin' Up. If you have ever even had a thought about joining, this is the time to do it. You can get $125 worth of products for only $35, or you can get $189 for $99. It is definitely well worth it, and we would love for you to join the Stamping Divas team. Hello, Sharon. We have a great little group of people, and for those of you who are on here who are on my team, y'all will be very proud of me. I have done all the challenges except for the color. No, I did do the color challenge. I did the creative challenge, and my swaps went in the mail today. Woohoo! I know the post office is closed today, but they went. So I was very proud of myself. I'm a little on top of it having a week off. So, but we love our little group of people. We do a team meeting every month, and we just have a good time. And I would love for you to join us and just have that community of crafters and friendships and all of that. Okay, the last thing I want to do is I'm going to actually put you guys down on the table, and I am going to show you what came in the mail to me. Not, well, the mail, UPS dropped it off. And my husband says UPS is a regular around our parts, and he actually was joking with me the other day and said that the UPS man went by and didn't stop here. And I was like, you know, it doesn't always happen that he stops here. Okay, so this is the 12 days of crafting, and I thought I could, I don't know, I thought I could minimize my, or like screenshot out from my view, but apparently I can't. I don't know how to do that. My phone doesn't allow me to do it. So anyway, this is the 12 days of Christmas. You can see I have actually opened all of mine. I will be doing a 12-day of Christmas in Thanksgiving in November using the products, and I'll start with day 1 and then show you a project with it, and then I'll continue through day 12. I am possibly going to be working with another demonstrator, so it may be that I create 6 projects and she creates 6 projects and we do all that. We're trying to work out some of the details right now. So once I get all of that confirmed, then I can give you the specific dates, and if it doesn't have the ability to do it, then it'll just be me creating the 12 projects. But that's okay too, because I love the stuff in it. I'm not going to show you the products in it, But if you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube, just if you don't want to know, then make sure that you're not looking at those posts, because a lot of people have already started opening them and showing them as well. It does come with a stamp set. It is a pretty large one, which is kind of great. So it is just like that. And then we'll start this and I'll give the dates of it. This is $99. So if you happened to join right now, you could actually get this and your $99 for your starter kit. So you could actually join and get this. And then you could still even add on $26 worth of additional products. So be on the lookout for this. I am super excited about it. I'm glad Stampin' Up! Has finally come out with one. I feel like it is long overdue. So I'm pretty stoked about getting the projects together. All right. The next thing is we're going to start crafting. Yay! We're going to be doing this one. This one is called Stay Warm. Now, when I saw this stamp set, I kind of scrolled by it at first, and then I realized that I actually really liked it. So I went back before I had placed my pre-order when we could do all of our Christmas catalog ones, what I call our Christmas holiday catalog one. And I kind of, skipped over it the first time, and then I kind of went back, and I'll be honest with you, I love the cozy comfort kind of thing. It's why I love fall, because it's kind of the start of that sweatpants, sweatshirts, hot chocolate, s'mores, that kind of stuff. And so this really kind of reminded me of that. And then of course, I know it's not really an ugly sweater, but you could do some ugly colors and make it like an ugly Christmas sweater kind of thing. So I just felt that this would be a perfect set to do. So we're going to do 2 projects tonight. And then I have one that I will show you at the end that we're going to do on, I don't know if I'm just going to do a video on that one and then do another project, because I have another idea in my head too about a 4th card. So I may do a 4th card for us on Friday. So this is going to be our first card. This was actually for a demonstrator swap I went to in Aiken. Well, it wasn't just a demonstrator swap. It was a demonstrator event that Stampin' Up! Actually was a part of. And it was a lot of fun. And so there was a bunch of us that did a swap together. So that is what I made for that swap. And I'm going to see if I can get all of my products out here. This Stay Warm stamp set does not have any sentiments. So I pulled in the decorative trees, because this one has been around for a while. It was a $1 million stamp set. I can't remember whose. Daniela Goodluck, I think is how you pronounce her name. But this has been one of my favorite go-to stamp sets ever since it came out. I think 2 years ago, y'all. Maybe only a year ago, but I swear it's been around for about 2. Anyway, I love this one. So I pulled in this one for all the sentiments. And I'm going to move all this over. Pull out the products, and this it's real simple. This is also a reversible stamp set, so I'm going to show you that as well. So you'll want to make sure you have your cleaning product close to you. All right, so let's do our sweater first, and we're going to do the outline in full strength to get started with. All right, and we're gonna do it at an angle. Okay, then you're gonna wanna clean it. Sometimes with the larger stamps, I just find it easier to pull that chamois right on out the case. Okay, now you're gonna just flip that stamp right on over. We are going to pull out a piece of grid paper. We are going to ink this up. We're going to stamp it off. And And then we are going to stamp it right on over like that. Okay. Then we're going to set that stamp aside because we don't need it anymore. We are going to pull out our Calypso Coral. We're going to stamp our hat. I love this little cute hat with the ball on top. We're going to stamp it down there. Then we're going to stamp our first glove kind of right about here. Okay, and then we're going to do the second glove, and we're going to put it at an angle like this. And I'm leaving a little bit of space here so that I can put that sentiment piece. Okay, now we're going to clean all three of those. All right, and then we're going to flip them all over. You could also get out your mat. What is it called? I've just drawn a blank. It is the, oh goodness. We used to use it as like the poking, the mat, but it's really just kind of a foam mat. So this is good to use under these photopolymers when you're using the solid side, but I have a pretty good solid surface here. All right, so we're going to stamp that off and then do there. Oops, I stamped that off just a little because I can't get my head. Let's see if I can line this one up right. There we go. Okay, so we've got that. So I'm going to move this out the way. I'm going to close up my ink there so I don't get it all messy. All right, I'm going to pull in this piece here. We're going to do our embossing buddy. Get all my oily hand off of it. We're going to take and stamp our sentiment using Versamark. Get it good and inked up. I did re-ink my Versamark, so it should be good and clear. Stamp it straight down. All right. Then I am going to grab my tweezers, if I can find them. There they are. I'm going to grab onto this on the end. We're going to grab our white embossing powder. Ooh, goodness. And then we're going to stick it in to that powder. Make sure it gets good and covered. Sometimes it's easier to stamp your sentiment on a larger piece, especially when it's going to be so small, but I didn't want you to have to sit and watch me cut it. So I just went ahead and cut it small. Now I'm going to pull in my heat tool and I am going to heat emboss it until it gets shiny. So if you don't like loud noises, you can turn down your volume. And it will only take a minute. Let's see if I can get up over it. There it goes. And all right, there we go. So now it's nice and shiny. Yep. All right, let me put those back so I don't lose them. Okay, now I am going to take my card base. I'm gonna fold it in half. I'm gonna give it a good burnish with my bone folder. And apparently I've got something on my bone folder that is going to leave marks. So we're gonna flip that bad boy right on over. Or maybe not. I think I might be able to cover it up. Then I have embossed, dry embossed, a piece of balmy blue, and we're gonna attach this to the front, and we're gonna do it flat. And we're gonna just attach it down like that. Okay. I'm just gonna rub it since it is embossed. This is gonna be popped up using dimensionals. I actually need to order more dimensionals because I am running low. I have run out of dimensionals. I don't know if you guys have ever done this. I have run out of dimensionals before, and it is a sad day when you do that. Because you can go to the store and you can buy them, but those tend to be a little thicker, and I like the thinner ones. So when I get down to about 2 or 3 packs left, I make sure to get it ordered again. Okay, then I'm going to attach that with the dimensionals at an angle. We're going to take some of our ribbon, and this is like fluffy. This kind of reminds me of like a good college sweatshirt, or even those, I don't know if y'all have seen them, but I used to have them. I used to have 2, and my dogs have always loved them. So they have become dog blankets, but they are like these sweatshirt blankets that you usually can find for colleges. And oh, that's what this reminds me of. Okay, not this side, but the top side. That's what it reminds me of. So we're gonna take and lay this down about like that. We're gonna just kind of, we're just gonna kind of lay that down. So just so that we can kind of know like where we need to cut. So we're just kind of measuring for the sake of it. Let me grab a pair of scissors, that'll work. And then we're going to cut that at an angle. And it's fluffy, so if it doesn't even come looking like an angle, it's fine too. Because everybody's just gonna wanna come up and touch your card. Oh, but that is what I learned. Everybody was like, oh, that ribbon is so pretty. I'm like, yes, it is. It is on Stampin' Up's website. All right, we're gonna take some of our tear-in tape and we're gonna adhere it down to our card front with that. And we're not gonna do the whole thing. We don't really need the whole thing to have the adhesive on it. All right, let me fold that over real quick. There we go. Okay, then we're gonna lay that there. Okay, now, this ribbon is a little thicker than usual. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come right on over here with this, or actually we're gonna do this edge. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it so that all we have is this little strip. So we're gonna even cut off the jut outs right there. Okay, and I think this will be long enough. So we will go ahead and do that. And then you can cut it, I'm gonna cut it in 3s, just so that we can place it where I typically do. Okay, this is gonna be our top. So what we wanna do, this part down here, so we're gonna take our dimensional and we are going to put it up here at the edge like that. And then we'll do our next one. We'll kind of put it in the center, but you want it right there on the edge. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive in a couple of these little spots. I probably should have just done it before I put the dimensionals on it, but that's okay. All right, so let me put a little bit down here on this side. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna take off our backings. And then when we put this down, this is going to be the height of your ribbon. So now it's going to adhere to your actual cardstock, and the extra adhesive we put on is going to help it adhere to your ribbon as well. Okay. All right. So that is card number 1. Yes, Verna. It is not a very pleasant day when you run out of I have also run out of seal before as well. Sometimes I'm more thinking in the lines of getting new products, and then I forget about the simple stuff we have to have. So, all right. And that just reminds me of a winter wonderland fun. You know, that's kind of what it does for me. Okay, this is card number 2. And yes, there is fussy cutting. Sorry. It's not that difficult though, I promise. And I have already fussy cut everything but the heart, so you don't have to watch me do that. Okay. What I was kind of thinking when I created this card was of a fireplace. So I did the brick embossing folder. And then I just was struggling with how to create like a chimney kind of thing with a fire in it. So I changed it a little bit. And then we're just going to do kind of like a clothesline. So, all right. So we've got our card base, and then we're going to take and go ahead and adhere this to our inside. Let me move that up. All right. Now we are going to use some Balmy Blue. Balmy Blue just kind of reminds me of the winter, so that's why I did it. We're going to stamp our sentiment in Balmy Blue and our heart. All right, and we're going to stamp it right here. And this is going to fit perfectly on that label. All right, let's see. Where's my extra piece here? All right, so we're going to do the heart. Let's see. I've got the heart here. All right, so we're going to ink it up. We're going to stamp it down, and we're going to redo that. That was bad. I pushed too hard. There we go. All right, then we're going to clean it. And flip it, stamp it off, and then we're going to stamp it on like that. Yay. Okay. And then we're going to fussy cut. And we're just going to try to leave a little bit of a white border on like the top part up here. If we left a white border, it would be really outside of our full strength line, because the back side is just a little bit larger as far as the coloring of the inside of it goes. So just know that. And then we're gonna just keep going around and around. And ta-da, there we go. All right, so now we've got our heart, and I've cut out our our socks, which are stockings too, and then our little mitts. And this is in Daffodil Delight, and this is in Flirty Flamingo. Okay, we're gonna grab some linen thread, and we are going to adhere. We're going to take a glue dot, and we're going to kind of stick that in the center. All right, then we're going to take a glue dot and put it kind of back here on the end, and then we're going to kind of give it, let's see if I can get it off my finger now. There we go. And then you can always pull on it a little bit if you need it to be a little different. And then we're going to do this one. So let's go ahead and cut that off. We'll put a glue dot on the end, like that. And then that will go there. Okay. I feel like that one needs to maybe be a little tighter. Okay. We'll make that work. Okay. Now we are going to take, and hold on just a second, because we've got adhesive on the back of it now, so I just want to make sure it doesn't stick to everything. So we're going to put it on one of these little silicone mats. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is our heart, and all of these are going to be popped up. So this one, we're going to do a dimensional there and a dimensional here. And then we're going to do this at an angle, and it's going to cover up that little dot, the little glue dot there in the center. Okay, and then we're going to put dimensionals on our stockings. We're going to use some end ones because that'll be easier with the thinness of it. So we're going to put 1, 2, and 3. All right, and this one is going to hang like this. Then we're going to do our mitt here, and we can put one regular dimensional on it like that. And then it's going to hang about like that. Okay. Then let's do our other ones. Okay, this one is going to go like this. And then this one. All right, so 1, 2, and 3. All right. And then this one is going to hang like this. Perfect. Now, on the sample, I did not know that this Baker's Twine 3-color pack had already like discontinued. So we're going to do some strawberry slush because that's all I got, unless we did like white or black, and I didn't really like any of that. So we're just going to do some pink-ish color. You could probably also do the Azure Afternoon, but I felt like it was maybe a little too dark with that. And what we're going to do is we are going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back, and we're going to do a little bit of like a bow kind of thing going on, but it's not really going to be a bow. It's just going to look like one on the other side. Okay. You could tie a bow if you wanted. Totally up to you. All right, we're going to add some dimensionals. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and then we're going to put one in the center over the ribbon or over the twine. You don't really have to put that many dimensionals, but I am. All right, we'll pull this back in. Then we're going to attach that right there. You could also put it up top if you wanted. Let's see if that looks better. I feel like this is a little lower than I had it. Nope, I still like it down here. Okay, there we go. We're going to flip this over. We're going to add dimensionals to the back. And then we're going to adhere it to our card front. Oops, maybe. Okay, Now we can move that. And this can go here on our card front. All right, last but not least, we are gonna add these beauties right here. I love how simple and kind of muted they are. And we are gonna add these to the front. All right, so we're gonna do one here. I'm gonna do another big one down here. And then we'll do a little one right there. Okay, there we go. There is card number 2. And then let me pull in our first one. Let me put that back in so I don't lose them. Okay, that is card number 2. That's card number 1. Here's the one. So this one was one I actually did in class, in my in-person class last month. And this one is kind of similar to the one that is on number 2 is your favorite. Yay! I like number 2 as well. This one is very similar to the one that you can find online with Stampin' Up. I just changed up a couple of things on it and kind of made it mine. But this is what we did in class last month. So there will be a video on this. I just haven't decided if it'll be our live at 5 on Friday or if it will just be an extra video that comes out this week. So we'll see. But I wanted to say thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed these projects. And I hope you do kind of give the stamp set an extra look because it really is a good one. It's one that is, you know, you can make fun. You can do all kinds of different little things with it. And so it would work really well with like some hot chocolate packets to give to like a neighbor or coworkers or friends. So, you know, just get creative with it, right? All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I'll see you later. Bye.